So as of now, we have done with Apex class with functions and variables, and trigger will be having with less logic, and how what are the ways we have to call the trigger. We have discussed all these things, and today morning we have discussed about context variables. So if this is the trigger, if this is the trigger, in this, where can we find out context variable?
Triggered in class function name. This trigger dot
Okay,
new is the
this will
context
be
variable.
the context variable.
Yes, bro.
Okay, so how can we define the context variable?
Context variable is nothing but whenever a new record is created, list of records while saving into the database.
Yes, exactly, because which kind of data we are going to be saved in database by calling trigger.
Yes.
So trigger.new we have discussed, and these are the context variables. Types of context variables. Once today, I'm sorry. Now, once we have done with the events, then I'll share entire this Excel sheet and few more real-time scenarios of triggers. One minute. Few more real-time scenarios. Then you can start practice it. Once you are working on these things, I'm covering all the topics in this real-time scenarios, Rajesh. So you
Okay.
can practice it.
Okay.
This will be easy to understand once you watch. In case if you have any doubt, you can watch the video and you can work on it.
Okay.
Okay, coming back to context variable, we have this many types of context variables. So each and everything we have explained. In this, is insert, is update, is delete, is before, is after, is undelete. For all these six context variables, that condition and the syntax, everything will be the same.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll discuss again how it will be. Okay, and now we have seen what is a trigger.new, right?
Yes, bro.
So trigger.new means nothing but which is getting called by trigger. It is going to give us a list of records due to which trigger got called. Okay, so today morning we have discussed in case if it is a new record, if it is a new record, in that what could be the trigger.new and what could be the trigger.old.
Yes. It is a new record. There is no trigger dot old.
Yes, exactly. So you understood concept of context variables. Okay,
Yes.
so if it is a new record, there is no concept of trigger.old. In case, uh, when can we have trigger.old here?
Whenever record is updated.
Yes, exactly. Whenever we have updated, then only we'll be having previous version of the record, which we can tell as a trigger.old.
Old. Yes.
Okay. So as of now, you understand trigger.new and trigger.old, right?
Yes, bro.
Okay. Now we are coming to is executing. Okay. So here we have different types of methods to call the trigger. 1 minute. See, these are the ways to call the trigger. Okay, Arna, through anonymous window. I'm sorry. These are the ways to call the class. I'm sorry. Okay, through anonymous window we can call the class. Through trigger we can call the class. Process
Right.
builder, scheduling code. These are the types. Okay. In case if this is the trigger, if this is the trigger, and okay, instead of that we can go with this. If this is the class, now I'm not talking about trigger, I'm talking about class. Okay, this
Yes, bro.
class, how we are calling this class by using trigger.
Yes.
right? Because here function name is there, here function name is displaying. So by finding this, we can understand we are calling this one by trigger, right?
Yes.
Okay. In case if we are not calling this class by trigger, by trigger it is not calling by Visual Force page. We are calling this class. Okay. In that case, will it be work? Don't think about
From
this function. Don't think about this function. In generally, in general, I'm asking. We can call our class by Visual Force page, right?
yes, bro. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So now, if that is the case, there is a context variable called as trigger dot is executing. So mid of the class or within the class, whenever we are using this kind of context variable with some special code, that time what will be happen? In case if you call this particular class by Visual Force page, then this piece of code will not getting called.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes,
This
yes.
this context variable will be called only by trigger.
Okay.
That time we can use this one.
Okay.
So
So all context variables will call by trigger only, bro.
yes, all context variable, not like that. We have many ways. But
Okay.
for example, if you use the trigger.new by Visual Force page also, it will work.
Okay.
By anonymous window also it will work. We have seen a trigger.new also by anonymous window. But if you use this context variable by anonymous window, it won't get work.
Okay.
Only by trigger it will work.
Okay. Only some of the context variable won't work
Yes.
in other.
And one more, generally context variable, where can we use? See here, now tell me, is this class or is a trigger? This
It's
is
a
trigger.
trigger. Trigger.
But in class, we haven't used any context variable. Only
Yes.
this context variable we can use within the class.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay.
We have 14 context variables. I'm sorry, it's around 12 to 14. 1 minute. 7 and 6, 13. In 13, this we are not using it. So 12 context variables are there. Out of 12, only this context variable we will not, we will use in Apex class, not in trigger.
Okay.
Because of that only it will get called by trigger.
Okay.
Got it? So
Mhm.
is executing, this is only member in that family which we write in Apex class. Generally, we used to call all these things as a context variable family. Okay,
Yes,
only
bro.
this thing will be working in Apex. Only this thing will be we can add in Apex class, not in Trigger. Okay, now we are going to discuss about remaining these things. Insert, is update, is delete, is before, is after, is and delete. So if this is the case, so here this is a trigger name, and we are working on this particular object and events. These are the events.
Yes, bro.
Okay. While we are using these events, and this is the condition within the trigger: class
Yes.
name, function name, and context variable.
Context variable.
So now, from when it has to work, we haven't give,
Yes.
right? For example, when before insert happening, only this thing has to work.
Yes.
When before update happened, only this function has to work. So if that is the case, if you give like this, it won't work because here we haven't gave any command like that. Okay.
Yes, bro.
So
Yes.
whenever before insert is happening, it all functions will get called.
Yes.
Okay. So to avoid that, we can use context variable.
Okay.
And now we can see how it will work. So to perform something before record is getting inserted into database. So I have already discussed this thing, right?
Yes, yes.
This is trigger.new, and once we updated, this will be the trigger.new.
New. Yes.
So in this case, if this is the first case, this will be trigger.new. In case if we update, this will be the trigger.new and this will be trigger.old, right?
Yes.
So here you can understand what is the insert, what is the update. Okay. So now to perform something before record is getting inserted into database. So before record is getting inserted means we are inserting the record, right? So that time we'll write context variable like this: trigger dot is insert double equal to true, and trigger dot is before double equal to true. Then you can give the condition here. Then only it will work. Simple logic, Rajesh. See, if it is before trigger, then you can go with is before and is insert. And here, first you can write this one also no issues. Then second you write this one also no issues. Both will be the same.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes, bro.
Okay. So same thing will be happen for is update, is delete, is before, is after. Is and delete normally we won't use. Very
Okay.
rare cases we can use. Okay. So now again I'm just putting this. In the morning you only set that one. Now you can tell this. Call a code in trigger which client wants to execute when update process is completed. Now write the
E-
trigger.
Yeah. Is updated
Okay,
and
1 minute.
is update.
Okay, it's showing completed. Is
Yes.
update. That
Is
means
trigger dot is update
trigger dot is update.
equal to true and
Okay,
trigger dot is before only true.
okay. So here what we are asking, when update process is completed,
Yes.
right? So you can understand the logic here, right?
Yes, bro.
Okay. And next one, call a code. Call a code in trigger which client wants to execute before the record gets deleted. So here,
Is delete before the record gets deleted. Want to execute. Is undelete, bro.
no, just think, call a code in trigger which client wants to execute before the records get deleted. That means before it's deleted.
Okay. Is delete and is before, bro.
Yes, exactly. Is delete, is before. That's it. So this is for is update, is delete. That's it. So trigger.new, trigger.old we already discussed.
Bro, we are, combining two context variables, right, bro?
Yes,
Okay.
we can do it.
No.
So whenever it is single record, we can go with trigger.new or trigger.new. Whenever we want to compare the records, that time we will go with trigger.old and trigger.new.
Okay.
Okay. So these are the examples for trigger.new and trigger.old. We already discussed this.
Yes, yes, bro.
Okay. So just now you asked, can we use two things in context variable? You asked, right?
Yes.
See, for comparison, trigger.new, trigger.old. That means before updating the record, value is this. After updating the record, value is this. Like that, we can show it.
Okay.
So same thing. Uh, trigger name on object name and event before insert before update. And next we give class function name. Next we give context variable. Same thing whichever we gave here. See here. Applied after apply discount after function we gave list of records, right? Same thing we'll update for trigger.old and trigger.new. See here only trigger.new gave. So there is a reason where plus list new we gave. In case if it is trigger.old, what we can do? Where plus list old. Got it, Rajesh, what I'm saying?
Yes, bro.
See, here we are just comparing trigger.new and trigger.old. If it is trigger.new, we are giving where new record values. If it is trigger.old, we are giving where old records values.
Okay.
And, and now we are coming to map.
Bro, ఒక నిమిషం bro.
Yeah, okay.
Bro, చెప్పండి.
Okay. So as of now, we have done all these context variables, how it works. And now we are checking it map. Okay, trigger out new, trigger out old, we already done. And new map, old map, we are just checking here.
Yes.
So if it is list of records, we have seen. We haven't used set of records in class. Why?
So set we need, I mean, key and value. Map. See,
Map. No, no.
map.
I'm not
Set.
asking map here.
Yeah.
We haven't used set here.
Set. Yes. 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 Set will won't allow duplicates.
Yes,
So
exactly. So we it won't allows duplicates. So coming to map, as you said, we need to have key value.
yes.
So if it is coming to list, it will give record name and record value.
Yes.
Okay. So if it is map, how can we give the value? How can we say? How can we store the value in this?
Yes. Those. I mean. Yeah.
Here, if it is list, directly record will get saved here,
Yes. Bro.
right? So how it was saving like Larry 20 New York.
Hmm.
Total record will get saved in this list.
Yes.
But if it is map has to store key and value, right? Then how can we
Yes.
store it?
Instead of for a key, we are having a record ID and
Yes, exactly.
yeah.
So whenever we are asking map in that, we separately will not be getting any key. So we can take it record ID as key in map values.
Yes.
Okay. So this all will take this one. And final one, trigger dot size. It will shows you count of records. Maximum we won't use this very rare case
Okay.
because generally we'll use size for only list set map only collections we can use in context variable we won't use but for your understanding I'm just giving syntax here.
Okay.
Okay. And this you can understand. I'm just removing this. What is the difference between below two lines before insert and is insert equal to true and is before equal to true? What is this?
Before
What is
insert,
this?
before insert means whenever record is going to save.
Oh, no, no. We are just asking what is this actually? It's
Okay.
an
Okay.
event,
Yeah. Yeah. Even
and this is
context variable.
Yes. And here we can get exact information. Why do we need context variable? So if this is the case, all events we gave here and all functions we gave here. But thing is, if you call like this, whenever before insert happening, all functions will get called. Whenever before update is happening, all functions will get called. But here in class, they gave like this. In public class variable, public static void function A, call this code only when record is about to get inserted, then function A will get called.
Yes,
Okay. And same way, call this code only when record is about to get updated, then function B get called.
yes,
When record is already inserted, this will get called, and when record is already updated, this will be called. So
yes.
like this, we need to do the changes in context variable. So how can we do it?
So we need to write a class and we need to,
No, no, in trigger, we need to change the context variable. So how can we change the context variable here based on this class? So first one,
yes,
okay, I'll show you example. So first context variable, first one
record is
is inserted, right?
using.
Is inserted. When it will be when record is about to get inserted, that means before insert.
Yes.
So we can use is insert is before.
Mhm.
So same thing. Yes. Is before is insert they have done. Okay.
Yes, bro.
So this is for before insert. So is insert is before we have done. In case this code only when record is about to get updated. It is showing
Is
before update.
update. Yes.
Now tell me what is the
Is
context variable?
update is
Hmm.
before.
Okay. So is before is update. Done. So what about the after insert?
So after insert is after
Same. Is insert is after.
is after. Okay.
Okay. And
Yeah.
last one after update. What will be happen?
Is update is after. No,
Yes.
no. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Nothing will be happen if you change one or two.
Okay, okay.
Okay. If you use this one after this one also, it will get work. No issues.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So this is how we can use context variable.
Okay, bro.
So hereafter, these are the trigger best practices. And what are the trigger best practices? First one is one trigger per one object.
One hour. Good.
Why we are using only one trigger means we can use it. We can use two to three triggers in same object, but we are not sure which trigger will work first.
Okay.
There is no sequence of triggers, sequence
Okay.
steps of triggers. Generally, in approval step, how we'll do it? First, it will get updated, then only it will get approved. Like that, we'll give right. Those
Yes, yes.
things it won't work in triggers.
Okay.
And here I have one doubt. Per one object, we are using one trigger. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
But what about class?
Class. We'll have multiple classes, no?
Yes, multiple class we can have.
Yes, bro.
Okay. Can we have multiple class connected with trigger? That's what. Yes, we can call. What is the best practices? Just now we discussed one object per one trigger, and trigger must have a handler class and objects class, and base
Yes.
logic. in trigger, and we need to have context variable for trigger and bulkify triggers. This is our future topic we'll discuss. So now we have already done with context variable, and now we need to learn about events, how to decide before insert, how to decide before update, etc., etc.
Yes.
So coming to events, we'll be having two types of groups. One is before, after, and one is group A, one is group B. In group A, we can have before and after. Coming to group B, we can have insert, update, delete, and upsert. We'll discuss in future. In undelete, rare cases we can use it. Merge will be, this is our future topic. Actually, we won't use merge in the sense how to merge two records from one object. How? One minute. I'll show you once. So here, I merge two fields here.
Okay.
Okay. So in this way, we can merge the two records in Salesforce. So that we can see in future topic. Coming to trigger. So just check this. This is trigger and this is trigger name and object, and we gave this one, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in this, what did you understand?
Trigger before, before inserting the record,
Okay, only
that,
before insert it will work.
yes.
Okay, but if you change the event like this, before insert and before update, what will be happen?
So only one will work, bro.
Oh no, both the things will work. That is the
Okay.
reason first I said context variable. Later I am saying events. See
Yes.
here we have only one context variable.
Yes.
So that is the reason here we have only one event. In case if we have two events, this will work.
Okay.
If here three events also it will get work.
Then which event will, will get the output, bro?
That's what. For three events, this will be getting out. Will get output. I mean, whichever it is getting satisfied, then it will work.
Okay.
That means, see, we are telling to trigger if it is insert, it will work. If it is update also, it will get work.
Okay.
In case if it is not there, whenever it is updated, it won't get work. I think you are getting confused.
Yes, yes, bro.
Okay. See, if context variable, if you give only one value, it will work. Till here you understand, right?
Yes, bro.
Here, if you add one more event, here also it will work.
Okay.
In case if it is not there, then what will be happen?
Only it will work.
Okay, one minute. Here I'll show you. See, here we have trigger,
Yes,
right?
bro.
So there is a reason it is taking. Okay, or else I'll show you here. Now there is a trigger. When I updated, it is showing 200, and we gave trigger like 10%, 10 rupees discount. Then it shows 190 automatically.
Yes, bro.
Okay. In case this 190, if you change 180, then what will be happen?
Update, update trigger
It will
will.
get update, but what will be
Yes.
the result?
Result result should be 180 only, bro.
No, no, you're not getting my point. Let me show you. There is a trigger.
Okay.
Okay. Because of that trigger, if it is more than 100 rupees, 10 rupees will get discount flat. Okay.
Okay.
Just think in that way. More than 100 rupees, 10 rupees will get discount. Okay. If it is 200 rupees, then record will update how much amount it will get update?
180.
190. 10 rupees only we are giving discount, right?
100 we are giving 10, bro. For 20 it will
No,
get
no, no,
20.
no, no, no. What I'm saying, more than 100 rupees, whichever it is,
Okay.
more than 100 rupees, we
Okay.
are just giving
Okay.
10 rupees, not
Okay.
10%, 10
Okay.
rupees.
Okay.
Okay. 10 rupees discount we are giving.
Okay.
So when they updated 200, then 190 is coming.
Yes.
Okay. Let me show you in real time scenario. Let me stop this. Password yes. So here we have trigger, right? If it is more than 1 lakh, 2000 rupees will be getting it.
Yes.
Okay. So now test 250 cc, 1,50,000 I'm giving. Okay, now tell me how much amount it has to reduced.
2000.
Okay, then 1,48,000 should be come, right?
Yes.
Yes, it is coming. So now what I'll do is I'll edit this record. I'll change this one as 130.
Okay.
Now how much amount will come?
1 lakh 28. Okay.
Why?
So it is only working on
Yes, now
its
you got it
issue.
right.
Yes, yes,
So
sir.
here in the trigger, particularly, we gave only before insert.
Yes, yes,
That is the reason when I change the record, it is not taking it.
yes.
In case, in same trigger, if you give like this,
Okay,
before insert, before update, if you give like this, then it'll get changed.
okay.
Got
Both,
it?
yes, 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 yes.
Both, that means both events it'll take, it'll get worked.
Okay,
That's what I asked here.
okay.
So now you understood, right? So
Yes,
if
yes,
I
yes.
change 190 from 180, if when trigger is there, it should be shows 170.
Yes, yes, bro.
But final work is showing only 180.
180. Yeah, got it, bro.
So that is the difference in the event.
Okay,
Okay. So now we can see how to decide the combination. So just keep this one before after record is inserted after updated in database. So if this is the case, before or after record is inserted or updated to database. If it is before record, just see this before record is inserted to database for perform logic. That time will give is before.
okay,
In case if it is after record, will give is after.
okay,
Or else we can give as after update, after insert, before insert, or before update or after update. Uh, 1 minute, Rajesh. I'll explain again. 1 minute.
okay,
In real-time scenarios, they won't tell you what is the before insert, what is the before update and all.
okay,
They'll just give this line. Before record is inserted to database. Then we'll decide. before insert or after insert, before update or after update. So
Okay.
when before record is inserted database, then we'll go with before insert. After, okay, I'll give icon like this. Going to after. Record is inserted to database, then we can go with after
Okay.
insert.
After.
Okay. Now again, record is updated, then we'll go with before update.
Okay.
When record is updated to database, we can go with after.
Okay.
You can see this one by practically, Rajesh, then we can understand.
Okay.
By
Okay.
theory part, it may disturb you, but while you are doing practicing, then you can understand. See, this one, while you are discussing about text message, I mean, theory message, you are getting confused, right? Here.
Yes, bro.
But
Wait,
while
this one
doing,
I understood,
yes,
bro.
yes, while we are doing practicing, then
Yes, yes.
you can understand.
Yes.
Okay, same thing you can do it. But this is only for your understanding. But
Okay.
whenever some other person is asking you in interview or some other thing, then go with these definitions. Before when we can use. 90% of business requirements are solved by before trigger. Just
Okay.
remember this. Okay, maximum 10% case only will go with after trigger.
Okay.
I mean before insert, before update will give maximum. After update, after delete, maybe 10% only will give.
Okay.
And when any record is inserted or updated into Salesforce, and due to them trigger got activated, and if you want to make changes only those records, then we can go for before. That
Okay.
means just now you have worked on it, right?
Yes, bro.
If you work on this record, I mean, if it is a fresh record, only it will be impact only on that particular record, right?
Yes. Yes.
It because of that regard, another object, another record won't be get reflect anything. So for example,
Yes.
okay, I'll teach you in some other example. Here itself. Okay, within the same object, within same record, if it is working, then we'll go with before. If it is because of this particular record, it is going to impact in another record means, then we'll go with after. We'll see here. If insurance policy purchased by female, then 5% discount is given to claimant.
Okay.
I'll explain in this way. Give me a minute. Just think there is a policy. Okay. Okay. Uh, in this object is customer name, policy amount, gender, salary, etc. etc. Okay. So in this, what they are saying is, if customer is a female, if customer is a female, directly 5% discount will come. Okay. So that
Yes.
means within the record it will be happen within the record. So whenever it is updating gender female, then amount will be instead of 10,000, it will be reduced 5% amount less,
Yes.
like 9,500 it will come.
Yes.
Okay, that means within the record. Because of this record, another record will not get any impact. So that time we'll go with before. Okay. And now we're coming to after. This is comparatively used rarely and mostly covers 10% business requirements. Just now we have
Okay.
discussed maximum it will go with before only, before insert or before update. And coming here. When any record is inserted or updated to Salesforce, due to which trigger got activated, and if you do not want to work on those records and you want to work on some other records, then we can use after. And for example, here we can see when record in policy sold object is created, then you want to also create a record policy premium pay. Okay, so here, okay, so here, if it is female, we'll be having discount here. Okay,
Yes, sir.
same in same application, there is another object called as policy name. Okay, in this, okay. So when here amount is updated like 10,000, without doing anything, here it has to update same amount, right? Because it is interlinked this object.
Okay.
So policy name automatically displayed, and whenever policy status it is showing sold, then this amount has to be displayed here. Okay, that means we are updating record in this object in this record, but not in this object in this record. In this case, we'll go with after update.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
So same thing we gave scenarios here. Object one. Here you need to tell the answer. Okay. Object one is mobile sale entry. Mobile. Object two is accessories. Okay. When you purchased a mobile in the online, then only it works. Okay. Now we can see. Samsung 8 required using email alert in WFR. So what we can do is mobiles will be having a lot of mobiles in online in online portal. Okay. So whenever you have entered Samsung S8, okay, uh, just remember when you are giving Samsung's S8, you need to give charger or any headset or mobile pouch, etc., etc. We need to give free in free of cost,
Yeah.
on free of cost. So that time, just think you just gave the order in this. Okay,
Mhm.
you haven't ordered this.
Okay.
Then in this case, what is the event you can give? So just remember this. User entered record number record in object 1. Now due to this, we need to create another record in object 2. So that workflow will work for object 2 will take place to bring the stock to showroom. Now in this case, which kind of event we can use?
User entered recording number.
Before update or after update?
After update, bro.
Yes, exactly. Because you are not working on same record.
Yes.
Because of this, another record is working. So it will get after. And coming to this, object name is mobile and the fields will be brand name and price. Okay. Here, if brand name is Samsung, then they are giving 10%, sorry, 20% discount. Or directly you can giving 200 rupees discount. Okay, now tell me, which kind of event you can work here?
Brand.
The same thing we have done with Pulsar bike.
Also, okay. New before insert.
Yes, before update. So that means before event.
Yeah.
So now you got the your understanding, right? What
Yes,
is
yes.
the event? What is the context variable?
కొద్ది ప్రాక్టికల్గా ఉంటాయి కొద్ది క్లియర్గా ఉంటుంది.
Yes, yes. ఇప్పుడు after completion of this session, you'll be getting context variable sheet and this file. Then you can start doing it.
ఓకే.
Okay. So here there is a code. Okay. This is the trigger and this is the class. Okay. In this trigger, can you please identify any mistakes are there or not?
Because mobile discount.
So this is a trigger,
Trigger
this is
name.
the trigger name, and this is
On
object,
object.
and what is
Event.
this?
Event.
Okay.
So, mobile platform is confirmed. Mobile.
Did you find any mistakes here?
I mean, here we are allocating the memory, bro. We'll
Yes, that is not
mobile.
required.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So
Next.
this is class name and function name. Trigger that whole. Trigger that whole. After
Just remember here,
uh,
can we use directly for trigger.old when it is getting insert?
after no, bro. After insert trigger that
Okay. When it is update, then only we'll get trigger.new or
trigger that
trigger.old and trigger.old.
whole.
When it is
Yeah.
getting insert, we'll be having only trigger.new.
Okay.
Okay. And now coming to class. So here in first line, is there any mistake?
Public.
Yes. Class should be public always.
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
Private static void. Apply set, bro. We need set is. I mean unique.
Yes, set we won't use.
Yes.
Okay. You, I thought you'll find another mistake in this line. We are calling
Yes.
class, right?
Yes,
When
bro.
class is private, how can we call that?
It is function, right, bro?
Sorry, that's what function only. Now, if it is private, how can we call this function?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
And now, next one.
Static void. Okay. For mobile, it is for each
Yes,
mobile.
for each flow, right?
Mobile 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 okay. Where? Where?
And here,
ప్రతిసారి మనం ఐ మీన్ వేర్ అనేది మస్ట్ అండ్ షుడ్ బ్రో.
where must and should కాదు కానీ but if you give where then only we can understand. Normally if you give one single letter that will be not understandable
ఓకే.
because in real time scenarios coding in the sense you are not preparing only for you, for others also it should be understandable. So
ఓకే.
if you give like this then they can understand, okay, this will be the variable.
ఓకే.
Got it?
ఎస్ బ్రో. బ్రో ఇంటీజర్ కూడా ఇవ్వచ్చా బ్రో?
Which one?
వేర్ ఇచ్చాం కదా అక్కడ ఇంట్ అనేసి ఇవ్వచ్చా?
Yes, you can give.
ఓకే.
Hmm. This is the thing exactly. This is the correct code, and we gave this one. We haven't used context variable before insert because we gave after insert. When it is triggered out new, before insert only will come, and we haven't gave context variable.
ఓకే.
Context variable actually it is not must and should, but whenever we are getting accurate values then we'll go with context variable. Okay, I'll send entire this code to you, Rajesh.
ఓకే.
Just doing practice it now. We have done with events, context variables, class, triggers, and how to use the functions, how to use the variables, and how to start the class, how to start the trigger, etc., etc. Everything we
ఓకే.
have done it. So next thing is you should practice it on these triggers.
ఓకే బ్రో.
So just follow this. Create one student object and create one computer object and follow these fields. And this is the condition.
ఓకే.
Here mobile shop we discount. We have different scenarios. Not only this field. I'll give you another PDF format also.
ఓకే.
I'm sending to the mail.